Hello, TGI Friday. Guess what, everyone? This is Lowe with Veeam Software for our Veeam Vibe Friday show. And we have our brethren, Canada, our people from Canada, the North, the true North, the NBA champion, Toronto Raptors North, right?
There you go.
There you go.
All right, we have Zack Dickson and Damian Serjeant. Hey, welcome, guys. How are you today?
Doing fantastic. Thank you for having us on.
Living the dream, man. Thanks for having us, Gil. Excited to be here.
You guys look pretty cozy in your house. I'm cozy in my little office. I like to be outside, but hey, you know what? I'm glad I was able to take some time from you guys and show us the Veeam impact in Canada, right? So, start with kind of an overview of introducing Damian Serjeant. Damian, you've been at Veeam for 3 years. You spent 7 years at Cisco, man. So, really, I mean, tell me one word to describe yourself and what's been your experience at Veeam so far?
One word, I would say passionate. I'm either all in or I'm not. It's hard to fake, Gil. And I'd say Veeam time thus far has been it's been fun. It's been, came in, learned it. We had to make a couple adjustments, but so far it's been fantastic. A
Right.
great sort of move for me.
Yeah, different change from Cisco, but hey, we're fast paced as well, right, buddy?
You bet. You bet.
All right, next we have on the other green seat, we have Zack Dickson, channel chief for Canada, right? So, Zack, you been at Veeam for about seven months, right? And you were at HPE for 7 years. So tell us, what have you enjoyed about your short term time at Veeam, and what anything that one word describe yourself too?
Okay, one word. Damian took passionate. I'll take positive. I think I try to look at the bright side of everything, and it's easy here professionally with Veeam. It's been a fantastic 6 or 7 months. Certainly not the one that I expected with what we're dealing with right now. But
Mhm.
man, the coolest thing for me, just being in a high growth company, lots of momentum behind us in the business, and working with partners like I do. Lots of partners that are just eager and happy to be, embracing us as they go on their hybrid cloud story with customers. So it's been a blast. Lots of great people. Everybody kind of rowing in the same direction.
Okay, good. It's good. Great to have you on the Veeam team. Taking your Veeam voyage. So I will ask you both this. And when I go to Toronto, Toronto's known for some great, food places. And maybe you're not living in Toronto. You're in different parts of Canada. Toronto's not the only city in Canada. What is your go-to restaurant or go-to type of food or cuisine that you like from a Canadian experience?
I'll
Damien?
start. Yeah, I'll start. So I would say lamb vindaloo.
Okay.
Hot, spicy lamb vindaloo. And so before I sort of pass it to Zack on that one, I learned something about 2 years ago. And always I'd ask for the hottest, spiciest lamb vindaloo ever. And the chef would sort of look out and look at me and say, like, we make it too hot, he's going to send it back. So I learned a valuable lesson is
Okay.
if you tell the waitress or waiter, I promise not to send it back, depending on the spice level, then it's a challenge for them to destroy me. So that's my favorite go-to, the hottest lamb vindaloo.
Okay, good choice. Good choice. Thank you. What about you, Zack?
Yeah, so I think Damien and I have a similar palate. One thing lots of people don't know, so Toronto, and both Damien and I, we live in the outskirts, right, in the suburbs
Mhm.
of this great city, but it's an incredibly multicultural and diverse kind of melting pot of people. So you get incredible different types of cuisine. Damien mentioned, Middle Eastern. I'm a big fan of jerk. And so there's a little spot in my city called the Hot Shop,
Okay.
and yes, they do try to dial down my spice as well. But they make the absolute best jerk chicken roti, which if you've ever had one of those,
Uh-huh.
there's a ton of great spots around. But that's my go-to.
Well, I will tell you this. You might have to pull. I'm half Jamaican on my father's side, and I have Jamaican relatives up in Toronto. And I do not have a spicy palate, so please, you can pull my card whenever you want. But yeah, very good. I love Toronto. I've been to Carabana and some other different things. So, and of course, come up there for business. I guess what are some myths when I think about Toronto or Canada and myths? I think I hear some myths out there that we want to debunk today between the two of you. So the first myth I hear is Toronto's the capital of Canada. Do you guys hear that as well?
Some- Sometimes,
Okay.
but it's not. Capital is Ottawa.
All right.
That's right. And I will say though, if you're from Vancouver like me, there is a running joke and suggestion whenever you're on the phone with somebody in Toronto that they think they're the center of the universe in Canada. So maybe that's where it's coming from. But
Okay.
no, we're proud of Parliament Hill in Ottawa.
Well, I'll let you take this next myth, Zach. Canada is always cold.
Okay.
So,
Today we're going to go Celsius here. I think we're getting up to about 26, 27 degrees. It's green, it's sunny, it's beautiful. Help me with that in Fahrenheit, Damo. What it was? That's high 70s, maybe something like that. 80s.
High 70s, high 80s, low 80s.
amazing.
So we, depending on where you are, and obviously in Toronto, we have a good 3 months of absolutely spectacular weather. June, July, August into September, and it almost makes up for what is a really tough 5-6 month winter. But it keeps you hanging on. It is not always cold up here.
Okay, that's good to hear. And then also another myth I hear is all Canadians speak French.
Go for it, Damo.
I wish I spoke French, but I think it's roughly 20-25% are fluent. I've tried very hard, but I can't grasp it. And that brings me back to like when I was a kid and I learned like one sentence and it was "Est-ce que je peux aller à la toilette?" And it was during my French class, and the teacher would be always like, "You again?" And there was just to ask to leave the classroom to go to the washroom. But that's all I really learned. That and merci are sort of my two go-tos.
Okay, love it. I'll do this last myth and then we'll get into a couple other questions. The only sport Canadians care about is hockey. Is that true?
False, right? Well, you mentioned it on the opening too, right?
Yeah.
This is the home of the world champion Toronto Raptors here.
Right.
Yes, most kids grow up playing hockey, but again, we have such a kind of multicultural and diverse community up here. We have just in the town next to mine, one of the largest private soccer clubs in all of North America.
Okay.
Obviously, a huge group of kids that play basketball as well. We've had a ton of #1 picks come out of all parts of the country. And myself, I actually played baseball. So there is more up here for sure. But everybody, bleeds the colors of their hockey team. And unfortunately for, most of the folks around here, like Damian, those Maple Leafs haven't been very good for a few decades. So lots of disappointed.
This is the year. I think last time I think we won was like 1967, if I recall. But I feel confident this year. It's one of the two major places in Toronto, and I'm going to put some money on the line to say the Leafs are going to go far this year.
All right. Well, I've in my short time here in Chicago, I've seen the Blackhawks win a few, so I know how you feel. All right, so let's go to a couple of questions I have. You both are in Canada. Damian, I'll start with you. How's Veeam been so successful in Canada over the last 10 years since we've been started our business up there, And then what have you learned from your customers, and why they love Veeam?
Sure. So we started to invest in country about 10 years ago, as Gil said. Invested in sales, invested in channels, invested in our alliances, our technical group, marketing. And over the years, we've started to really work with our partners and our alliances in such the big importance around having just strong trust. So certainly that for us, we built out, we've made a lot of investment in people, specifically in Canada. Zack coming online as our new channel chief. We just hired an Eastern Canada sales director, Simon Valancourt. So now we've got a full sort of go-to-market. We've got sales directors across the whole country. We've got a technical leader that's in Edmonton. We've got marketing. We've got channel leaders, channel managers all across the country, and then an inside team. So working very closely with our ecosystem, if you will, and then working really closely with our clients in partnership. So I'm big on client intimacy, understanding what matters for our clients, getting really close to them and building that strong partnership, building a very strong partner ecosystem, and that partner intimacy as well. So that's been really good. And the stuff that we hear from clients is like why they like Veeam. And we go back to this motto, I think, Gil, before our time, but it was like three things. It was, it's simple,
Right.
it just works, and
Mhm.
it's reliable. And I've come from, two major corporations, and, it wasn't always easy, but there was a lot of CSAT sometimes and so on, and you had to manage that with your clients.
Right.
Here we are blessed at Veeam with the platform we have that our clients say it just works, and we're not constantly going back to CSATs. It's really driving new business and helping support our clients as we move forward together.
And then since we have people on, from around the world, if you are a Veeam Canadian customer, put in the comments on this LinkedIn Live show and let us know, how's Veeam been successful for you, especially in Canada, right? Or if you're not in Canada, let us know. We would like to hear from you, and we'll say your comment on here. All right.
And you know what's
All right.
cool, Gil? Hey,
Yeah, go
Gil,
ahead.
before we move on, is like we really do listen to our clients. So if please put a comment in there, and we take that direct feedback, and it goes directly to R&D. So if there's
Right.
specific features or anything you want to see, whether it be user group related across Canada, etc., call it out. We are happy, and we want to listen to each and every one of you. Your voice matters. It really, really does.
I mean, so talk about your vision. So your vision, I know we kind of went into this pandemic type of a new work from home world, but what's your vision for the country in Canada? I mean, as it relates to Veeam, you talk about, how it's simple, reliable, flexible, all the good stuff, but what's your vision, Damian?
I see. I want to triple down, if you will, on our alliances.
Mm-hmm.
Be very specific on our investment in our partnerships and our people. And then where I really want to see us grow is, I mean, we came off of 2019, a record year for Canada.
Yes.
We sort of went into Q1 and then Q2, this all sort of happened. And we had the best ever quarter in Canada, history-wise. So the big thing for me is to continue to build trust and a great foundation of people across Veeam, across all levels, having each other's back, being positive, taking that momentum, and
Mm-hmm.
continuing to drive just double-digit positive growth as we continue to go and experience this journey together.
Love it. Love it. So, Zach, I'll go to you. So, in this work from home environment, what's been the biggest surprise you've seen over the past few months?
Yeah, it's the most unique kind of selling condition we've ever experienced, I think. And Damian and I and the rest of the leadership team in Canada, talked pretty frequently about how we can become more creative about how we approach both our clients and our customers.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I was surprised, but what I was really pleased to see was the level of connectivity that we still have as a team here in Canada with Veeam internally, but also with our partner community and our client community. It's been, to me, a testament of, like Damian said, really great people working with a really great product that solves some business outcomes for clients, whether it's in a pandemic situation or not. I've been really happy to see just how much interaction we're still having with each other and our partner community and clients. And likewise, maybe a bit surprised at how effective our partners have been throughout this time as well, right?
Right.
And not just in terms of serving their customers with, unique and innovative solutions that address what's happening in this really unique situation, but also in their communities, right? I think we've all seen lots of partners step up in Canada and the US, across the world, and become, a really helpful part of recovery for their communities, whether it's in education, whether it's in small businesses that, need laptops or connectivity, things like that. It's just been, for me, really heartwarming to see the IT industry as a whole step up and play a big part in making this a little bit easier in what's a really tough situation. So that's what I'd point to.
Yeah, I've also seen some trends. When we first went into this work from home, everyone worked from home. Rush of that, everyone wanted to do the video calls and video. Now I'm seeing people don't want to turn on the video, so you got to tell people to turn on the video these days. We've even moved to what we call mobile Mondays, mobile meeting Mondays, to where we'll take a team walk and we'll walk with Microsoft Teams and we'll share all the reports, and everyone gets an exercise and you got the blood pumping and you got some good ideas coming. So if you haven't done that, world, try that. That's a good one to to change it up.
Well, that's
Danny, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead,
that's
Zach.
a good point on that one, Gil. So I think it was day 5 or 6 of going into stay at home. Damian and the team, and led by Ryan Narinsing, who many of you will be familiar with, instituted Veeam virtual workouts for the
Yes.
group here internally, which were 45 minutes with a professional trainer that happened 3 times a week. They were so good, we started extending them to our partner community and then out to our customer community, and we get a great group 4 times a week to come and sweat a little bit and break up the monotony of video call after video call. So it's been great. It's really fun.
I love that idea. I mean, yeah, we've done Wednesday yogas as well too, yoga sessions as well. So we're trying everything.
I need the invite for that one, Gil. I need the invite.
I'll get that for you. So what other trends? I mean, any other trends you guys have seen? You talked about connectivity. I know. What about protecting as it relates to Veeam and how we can protect some of these like Microsoft Teams? Any other trends you've seen out?
We saw, so Zach talked initially about all the connectivity and so on, sort of in that first bit, where we've seen a massive uptick. And this is really building on growth from last year, but is Veeam backup for Office 365. That is probably the fastest growing area of our business. And when you look at the trends, I mean, security was always on a top 5 list for any C-level executive across, it was global. And then with this sort of everyone work from home and taking data home or accessing it from home, security is number 1 on everyone's list. And with security always comes data protection. And that's where we've sort of just fallen into it, if you will, but that complementary offering with security is really, the growth and acceleration is off the charts.
Yeah. And I'll echo that. The O365 message that we bring to market is really about ensuring that, as people have moved their data real estate into new and kind of interesting places, probably faster than they would have wanted to because of the need to get people up and running and working from home. Like Damian said, it comes with security challenges, right? New threat surfaces, new vulnerabilities. And so the success we've had that's been kind of bubbling for a couple of years has gone absolutely at an accelerated pace since COVID-19 hit, in terms of just making sure people have the proper and adequate protection for new cloud environments, whether it's 365 or applications, or just the endpoint devices that they've gone and send people home with, right? It's a totally different equation. And I think part of the success we've had in Canada is helping clients realize that there's a need for it and and ensure they have the right perception of what their security posture is when it comes to data protection on new devices and new workloads in different spots.
I'll pose this question to the audience. What technologies have really helped you adjust to this new work from home environment? Comment below. Let us know. I do have a comment from Retta at Microsoft. She says, always a huge plus having access to technical resources from Veeam as I work with partners in Toronto, Canada. Thanks, Retta. I hope I said your name right. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Zach, I'll go to you. I got a question for you, buddy. How do you define channel success with Veeam Canadian partners? What is your ideal partner profile?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great one. So success is being the number 1, data management vendor at our partners for us, right? And we come from such a rich, long history, as you know, Gil, of really being dependent on the ecosystem. And that's part of why we've been successful, not just in Canada, but as a company, is, working to get part of the natural motion with our partner community. And so, the profile for that looks like really simple. It's great engagement, right? When we can work collaboratively with our partner community and ecosystem as a team, a virtual team, we see such better outcomes come out the other end. So, and that all starts with, some buy-in, some training, some enablement, maybe some programs, and we have one of the best partner programs in the industry that helps make that easy. But we really need the buy-in on the front end. So that's a big piece of it for us, and we have such a great community here in Canada doing that. And then the next phase for me is how do we take that success into building a practice around data management in Veeam, right? And that can be services, that can be upskilling from an expertise perspective. And I think back to Damian's point, there's such a unique opportunity in the market right now for the hybrid cloud story.
Yes.
And so where our partners have really rich and robust services practices around, you know, app modernization or migration or hyperscale public cloud vendors, I think there's just a massive opportunity to go and take the foundation that we have with a lot of them and translate it into more success in this next phase of IT service delivery, which is hybrid cloud, right? So that's long-winded. There's no perfect profile, but it starts with engagement, and it generally ends with skills to make a more meaningful impact for a customer, which we can both be a part of.
Yeah, Damian, anything to add to that?
Zach nailed it. My big thing is, but my big thing is building trust. Like trust for me is absolutely number one. And I think if you have trust between the two teams, sales, technical, leadership, everything sort of falls in line. But the foundation to anything I do is trust.
Got it. So I'll ask the audience, going back to you, you're important to us. Are you a Veeam Canadian partner? You know, what's been your success? Tell us why you're successful. Have you helped customers? Comment below. Let us know, you know, if you're on today. All right. And if you're not on today, we'll still see the comment later.
And if you're not a partner, give me a call.
There we go.
I'm happy to chat as well. Yeah.
There we go.
Always be selling. Always be selling.
All right, I'm gonna switch to a different kind of a more career type of question. You know, each of you can answer this when you can, but who are the three people who have been the most influential during your career? I'll go to you, Dave. Or Zach,
yeah, I'll
go
start.
ahead.
So
Okay, go ahead.
I'll start. I'll say my parents, I think, have been very influential. My dad was an IT director. He brought home like his when he was 4 or 5 years old. I would have to say my wife as well. Like she's always been sort of that rock in anything I do and keeps me grounded and humble.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one, I've had a chance to work with phenomenal leaders all throughout my career at IBM, at Cisco, and multiple different organizations. But if I flip back to probably 10 years ago, I think the defining moment for me in my career was a guy by the name of Greg Turner at Cisco.
Okay.
Took a chance on me bringing me in, and I learned from him some of this sort of key underlying contributors of being just a great, phenomenal leader. And it was being humble, and it was number one is authentic. And I loved that about him, and he's still one of my great friends, but that's someone that I would say those three for sure have kept me really sort of in line, gave me a kick in the gut when I needed it. And certainly just have been forming to who I am today.
Right. Love it. Zach, what about you?
Yeah, well, Damian's my hero, just for the record.
Oh, good one. Good one.
But all kidding aside, he nailed one of mine as well, two of mine. So my dad was a businessman as well, and you know, not specifically in IT, but always kind of, I still to this day pick his brain in certain situations, and it's always helpful. My family's been a huge support mechanism. My wife. If anybody knows how much diapers cost, that can be motivating as well. So I'll say my two daughters who are young. And then like Damian said, I've been so lucky to be matched with incredible leaders for most of my career. Going back to HPE, some folks that were in my corner and took a chance on me and taught me a lot, right? Charlie Atkinson was one. He was a GM for HPE and HPE Canada for a long time. He really taught, I think, everybody who worked there at the time that, you know, people buy from people was his motto. And that sticks with me every day. Had a great chance to work with John Dathan under his leadership. John's now leading Insight in Canada. And he really taught me kind of compassion as a leader, but still with a drive for results. And then my biggest mentor from a channel perspective, I was really privileged to work for Terry Richardson out of the US, who's now leading the US East Enterprise for HPE, who who has one of the greatest channel reflexes, I call it, in the industry. It's just it's muscle memory. So I learned so much from him, but the list could go on and on. I think no question I've been lucky in that regard. There's lots more.
Those are some powerful names, gentlemen. Thanks for sharing that. I'm sure they may comment today. You never know, right? All right, so a couple more questions, and then you're off the green seat. All right, so recently Veeam was named a leader for the 4th time on Gartner's 2020 Magic Quadrant. How does this really enhance Veeam's message in Canada?
So I'll take this one, but I'd say certainly it speaks volumes being in that sort of leader quadrant. If I do a active client count in Canada, we've got, last I checked, I think it was like 13,460. And we've done really, really effective job in the commercial space and the SMB space. And we've had wins in enterprise, but this really allows us to go upstream into big franchise. So it speaks volumes. And certainly I don't anticipate to stop there. We continue to bring out and announce new things, which will continue to drive us further into the corner, which will also add to our, leader and visionary status. But I'm very happy. I think it, it speaks volumes to all our channel, our alliance, our clients have spoken. So I want to thank each and every one of you.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's validation, right? Validation of what we already know, which is it's just an exceptional product in a really exciting market that's growing, and so as a Veeamer or any company employee, you can kind of get stuck in your echo chamber sometimes, and I think this stuff is such a great validation that we have something really unique and special to share with our clients and partners. So we're thrilled about it.
Awesome, guys. So I'll leave you with this last question: what's your go-to motivational quote or personal model that helps you continue to be successful for both of you?
There's a part of a movie that I've probably watched, Gil, I would say 700 times.
Okay.
And I'm sure many, and it's not Always Be Closing, so it's not Glengarry Glen Ross.
Okay.
If I had to choose my ultimate one, it'd be Any Given Sunday, Inch by Inch.
Oh yeah.
Al Pacino. And it goes inch by inch, but it says if you add up all those inches, that's the difference between winning and losing. And that's I always get a great drive out of it. If you haven't seen it, do a quick Google search and watch the video. But that really just puts fire in my belly, and I love it.
That's a good one. Go ahead, Zach.
Make sure the kids are out of the room, by the way, because I think Al has a couple expletives in there. But
that's right.
No, that's a good one. I mean, a couple things. Certainly, this business is such an exciting place to be. So I think we all run really hard to make sure our clients and our partners are well taken care of. And so I'm a big believer in this is a grind, and you just got to keep grinding and good things happen. So we talk about that a lot here in Veeam Canada. And then back to, I mentioned Charlie Atkinson talking about people buy from people. And I think above all else, a great product, a great story to tell, but we have some really great people that are super motivated and eager to engage with our partners and with our customers. And so that one sticks with me. That's one I think we all live by here.
I love it. Okay. All right, gentlemen, that's definitely helpful. Oh, one more question, I guess. If you were going to write like a book, what would it be about? The life of Zack and Damian? I don't know.
That ain't too exciting, brother. That's fun.
Zach, you start and I'll finish. Go ahead.
I got nothing. So if I could ever fill my head with enough knowledge to be an expert on something, what would it be? I drink a lot of beer. How about that? I could do a craft beer guide for Ontario. I could Gil, next time you come up, yes, I'll have a little pamphlet ready for you. We'll do a beer tour for you. Okay?
Yeah, when they open the borders, I'll be there for sure.
There you go.
Go ahead, Damian. What would you write a book on?
So mine would be, and this is a story I don't tell often, Gil, but I'll tell the folks that dial in here. So I go back to when I was 17, 18 years old, playing soccer for Ontario. And I was accepting at the time it was like soccer scholarship, but they called it bursaries, right? So it was for one of the top schools in Canada. and I
Okay.
was finishing up grade 13. They called it OAC at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was getting accepted into this top school. I'd gone and practiced with them and stuff. And then, I thought I was big man on campus, and I just sort of coasted, didn't do studying. My grades went in, and it was probably around mid-June to late June, and I got not an email, it was a letter in the mail from this university saying, Damian, we regret to inform you that we are rescinding your offer. And that was a kick in the gut like I've never had before. So I remember I was saying to my parents, saying, I'm going to travel the world for a year. I'll go back. And
Right.
my parents knew that if this guy's gone for a year, he's not coming back. So I remember my dad, Gil, putting me in, taking me to the laundry room and said, Dame, listen, you got two options. Number one is you're either going to university, or number two, you're going to the Army. So you choose. So I chose university. And my parents, they went and met the coaches of McMaster, a couple other ones, and I went and played soccer at Mac and Ryerson. But I think if I were to write a book about anything, is that fundamental school of hard knock message is don't ever take your foot off the pedal.
Right.
When you think you have it, and that's why I go back to inch by inch, when you think you have it, you got to work even harder.
Right.
And I've got, every time I feel like I get knocked across, the last 20 years, I always go back to that feeling and then work that much harder to get it done. So
Right.
that would be my story, Gil.
I love it. And I live by YOLO with the E. So,
There you go. There you
every
go.
day, right? So you
Love
only
it.
live Gilbert Lowe. So I keep it going. All right, gentlemen. Thank you for this time. We're going to talk about what we got coming next week. We got more live sessions next week. But before we go, Veeam on 2020 was maybe a month ago now. It's still live. So if you need to go on and listen to some live sessions for Veeam on, we still have the experience for you to go and learn more about that. It's all on demand. Go check that out. There were some great sessions on there, so it's still up and running. And then next week we have some live sessions as well. We have let's see, all things storage unscripted. There we go with Dave Russell and Calvin Zito, right? That's it, right? Yep, Calvin Zito. And then after that, we have our security team with Gil Vega. They're going to talk about addressing compliance and data security. So that's going to be amazing. And these are both on Monday and Wednesday at noon Eastern. Okay, so thank you, gentlemen. You are off the green seat. Go Canada. We keep driving the business up there, guys. And if anyone had any comments, please comment below, and we'll come back and answer any questions that you need. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.